Welcome back to the Fine Leg to Fine Leg podcast. Thank you so much for your support. It was really great, and we're going to start to try and roll these out twice a week, once on about Wednesday and another on Sunday. Today, we're picking our World ODI 11. Obviously, a lot of this is going to be based on the World Cup, but I'm pretty sure we've got fairly different teams. So, yeah, be interesting.
Yeah, I think we've got no players the same. We've chosen two totally different ODI teams, and maybe in the comments people can see whose team they think will win. So, Finn, if you'd like to start us off with your openers.
So, my openers are the best duo in world cricket at the moment, and that's Roy and Bairstow, apart from Anderson and Broad. But Roy and Bairstow, I just think no other opening partnership got off to a good start. Other people, they were sort of 27 for one after 10 overs, like New Zealand in the group stage against us, or India in the group stage again. I think, just you need two people to actually get you off with some momentum, which no one else could do from my reckoning.
Yeah, they're both aggressive from the outset, is what I would think. And they hit the ball to different parts of the ground, so it's difficult to set fields.
Yeah, both of them can hit 360. That's something Roy's only been able to do quite recently. Bringing out some reverse sweeps was lovely to see.
And I think the way that they was so aggressive against Chahal and Kuldeep, Virat Kohli's two priceless spinners at Edgbaston, I think that was very impressive because Virat Kohli's never seen his spinners hit in that way before, so he didn't know how to react, and that took the game away from them.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Right.
Okay, you.
My openers, I've gone for Rohit Sharma. I think
of course
his World Cup was phenomenal. 5 centuries, 648 runs.
Highest run scorer, wasn't he?
Yeah. So Sharma was fantastic. And then I've gone for Chris Gayle, the heavy-hitting, eye-catching West Indies opener.
Bit useless in the field, but yeah, big hitter. He can be a little bit temperamental. You're not always sure. I wouldn't rely on him to give you a good result, but when he does, he really, unbelievable.
Eye-catching. Number 3 and 4, please. Who's going to anchor your innings?
Right, the anchor. I think the anchors. I know it's been somewhat underrated for a while, and then Root and Williamson have really brought it back to fame. I don't know how to say that, but Williamson is the one I've gone for. He just scored a few more runs this World Cup. I think they're both incredibly reliable batsmen, but I just go for Williamson as a slightly better captain, I would say, than Joe Root. Clearly, he won Player of the Tournament. Yeah, he would be captaining my side. Not sure if we're doing captains, but it's a man. And then number 4, I've gone a bit with the England style of having some explosive batsmen here, and I've gone for Hetmeyer from the West Indies. I know he bats 5 for them, but I think he could be easily adaptable to put wherever. And after Roy and Bairstow, I think just to continue, I think he could just keep momentum going. And he's going to be a big player in the future for the West Indies, but also just in world cricket as a whole.
Yeah, Hetmeyer's explosive. I think you saw that against us when he scored a quick fire, 45 or something, and he was caught off Joe Root trying to club him out the ground. And I was going to ask about who your captain is, but Williamson, of course, is outstanding captain, fantastic gentleman, and just an all-rounder good bloke as well.
All the Kiwis are good blokes. Have you seen that thing? They said they offered to have all our home games in New Zealand for the tests we miss. It's just so cool.
Just such friendly people.
So who your number 3 and 4 then?
So number 3, he's my captain as well. I've gone for arguably the best cricketer in the world. I know you prefer Steve Smith. I would say Virat Kohli in all 3 formats of the game is a better cricketer.
Yeah, okay. He's not in Test. I'd say, in ODI probably, but not in Test.
Yeah, the fiery Indian captain. In a chase, he's outstanding. He always says that he likes to be there controlling the game until the last So yeah, I would say Virat Kohli is my number 3. And number 4, I've gone who you already talked about but didn't put in the side. I've put Joe Root in. Scores that are runnable consistently. Strike rate in ODIs is about 95, 96. Solid World Cup, 5th highest run scorer, 2 tons in the first 4 games. Just outstanding cricketer, really.
Yeah, I really rate Joe Root. I mean, ODIs, he's just been in such good form. He's hit quite a few hundreds, but he's providing an anchor that allows England to. Without Joe Root, we can't score those huge scores, because he's the person who allows Roy, Bairstow, Butler, Stokes, Morgan to actually hit out, because they know he's going to still be there. Or obviously not in the final. But
7 off 29 in the final, edged out to Colin de Grandon. It was just not a Joe Root shot to play.
We'll be coming on to Colin de Grandon later, I believe.
Finn, who's your number 5? Who's your explosive player? Oh, and your 6 as well.
I think 5 is Ben Stokes. I think he's just unparalleled in just. There are better batsmen than Ben Stokes, but no one's going to win you a game like Ben Stokes will. I know we talked about him a lot last time, so I won't dwell on this. But he's just unbelievable. And then 6, who's also my keeper, is Quinton de Kock. I think he's got the capability to hit big and also hit to all parts of the ground. I'd say, obviously, if AB de Villiers was probably a year or 2 younger, he'd 100% be in this team. But no, I'm going to stick with Quinton de Kock. He's an exceptional player.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's like Chris Gayle. He's eye-catching. He'll play his shots no matter what the bowling, and I think he's fantastic.
Yeah.
So my number 5, I've gone for another all-rounder, but a spin option this time. I've gone for Shakib Al Hassan. Record for the most 50s in a single World Cup. I think he scored 7. 3rd highest run scorer with more than 600. Almost carried that Bangladesh side. He took a couple of fifers as well. Scored a ton against England.
Oh, he could have easily been player of the World Cup, I'd say.
If Bangladesh had made it to the semi-finals, which was unlikely, he would have been player of the World Cup without a doubt.
Yeah, he's just had to carry a team a bit too much. I mean, when you are by far the best, it is easier to seem to score more runs and get more wickets if you're so much the best. But still, what he did was really, really impressive.
And my number 6 maybe should be batting higher up the order, but I just love the way he plays. I've got Babar Azam. That cover drive is beautifully fluent.
Was it with you and cover drives?
I don't know who I prefer on my side. I was Root's cover drive against South Africa, first boundary of the World Cup, which was glorious.
That is a throwdown. That was a drive ball, and Joe Root does not miss out on them.
Virat Kohli's check cover drive.
And at the other end.
And then there's Babar Azam's more flowing one.
And again, this is just sensational to watch.
He's just a fantastic cricketer, and I think he'll turn into one of the best players of our generation. He's quite young.
Works his cover drive later on.
Yeah, that might be mentioned as well.
So I'll crack ahead with my number 7. He maybe shouldn't be batting as high as 7. That's up for debate. But Colin de Grandon, I know he only bowls 74, but that's effective. That works. It does have to be the right sort of pitch, the right conditions. But I mean, in the World Cup final, beautiful. I was there watching, and as annoying as it is, he's still just an exceptional bowler. I think he's got the second lowest economy ever in a World Cup final.
Yeah. Well, that chant still gives me nightmares, just hearing the New Zealand fans going, Colin de Grandon. That gives me nightmares.
I hate that. And yeah, I mean, he does have run scoring ability, can hit a long ball. Yeah, I think he's a good all-rounder to have. I'm a fan of all-rounds. I've got another one, I'd say. coming up next. But there's your number 7.
But just wait, one thing about Colin de Grandhomme is he's really handy with the bat. He's a big, explosive player. Was it against South Africa, maybe, where the game was in the balance? They had that sort of rain-affected game, which ended up being a 49-over game. If it's 49 overs, why not just make it 50? That was one of the most confusing things.
Yeah, I know.
But he stuck around with Williamson when their innings was almost falling apart and eventually won them the game. Or Williamson won them the game in the last over whilst he was still there.
Yeah,
so he's a good player.
Just looking at the stats online, he's got an average of 27 in ODIs. So, yeah, that's a lot more than I thought it was. And the strike rate of 110. So, yeah, he's definitely a good batsman, especially with the batting lineup I've already got. He should prove very effective.
Yeah. My number 7 is probably, arguably England's most flashing, eye-catching, 360 cricketer batsman, whatever you want to call him, Jos Buttler.
At 7, yeah.
He played at 6 in the World Cup. I think here, with the batting that I've got him for the last 10 overs, and Jos Buttler in the last 10 overs go hand in hand. In 2019, his average in the last 10 overs, or when he was there, England's average in the last 10 overs was 112.
Oh, he's such a good batsman, isn't he?
Yeah, 100 against Pakistan in the warm-ups, 80 ball 100 against Pakistan in the World Cup game. But once he went, that chase sort of fell apart, really, unfortunately.
Yeah, but if you remember, he showed he's not just a flashing cricketer in the final, where he could stick around. He did have a much higher strike rate than Ben Stokes, but he still showed that he could stick around and actually play a sensible but much needed innings.
Yeah, he scored 59 off 60, I think it was. Well, It was 59 off 59 when he got caught out, playing probably the only bad shot he played that day. Sort of tried a flashing cover drive and sided it to point.
That was so scary when he got out. Oh.
What's your number 8?
Number 8. Some would call him an all-rounder, some wouldn't. Rashid Khan. I think just the speed at which he bowls for a leg spinner, it makes his googly so hard to play. And I really rate him as a bowler. He's come onto the world stage and he's really shown how good a player he can be. Starting, I wouldn't say carrying Afghanistan. They had other players such as Nabi, but yeah, I really rated him. And he can bat a bit. It's more of a swing. He's what Jofra Archer imagines he is as a batsman.
Yeah. Well, he took the world by storm in the Big Bash when he started bowling these really quick leg spins and no one could deal with them. So he's fantastic. Yeah. But now I think he's maybe lost a little bit of the edge because people have played cricket against him because does he play in the IPL? I think he does. Sure. But he plays in the Big Bash. He plays over here in England in the T20 competitions.
Yeah, but that is one thing. When you've got something that's no one's seen before, you can often seem brilliant, but then very quickly start to dwindle away because, if you remember, England couldn't face the Indian left leg spinners in the first ODI, and then the second ODI we smashed them out of the park when we played them
2018 summer, yeah. So yeah, it shows how much nowadays people can adapt and work out how to play them. Well, Morgan gave Rashid Khan a bit of a thumping, didn't he? He had the worst World Cup figures ever, something like 108 runs off his 10 overs. But even looking past that, he's still a fantastic bowler.
Yeah. You?
So I'll just put my spin option. I wouldn't bat him at 8. I'd probably bat him at 10 or 11. But I've got Kuldeep Yadav. We talked about India's left-arm spinners. Yeah. I'd probably say he's the best of India's spinners. He took 9 wickets in those first 2 ODI games that we played against them in that summer. He got Babar Azam with one of the best balls of the World Cup when that Pakistan-India game was in the balance. So I'd pick Kuldeep. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah, I can definitely see the reasoning behind that. I think a left-arm Chinaman option is rarely seen, but because of that, it can be very effective. I'm not sure I'd go for him. I'd go for maybe Rashid ahead of him. Obviously, Rashid Khan. But yeah, I can. Yeah, it's really hard to play. I've played it a bit, but it's the googly that spins away from the bat. It's a lot harder than the googly that spins towards you, I find.
Yeah, and the variation that he has as well.
Yeah.
I was debating between Adil Rashid and Kuldeep because they both have similar variations. Like they both can bowl any delivery, and you've got to be ready for anything.
Yeah.
But I thought that maybe Kuldeep, because he has the left arm option, is favourable. Finn, who are your three seamers then?
So I've got Liam Plunkett, bowls with a fair bit of heat. I really rate him. He can bat a bit as well. Speed, something you'll see throughout this seam attack. Then I've got Jofra Archer. Everyone knows why I've got him. He's unbelievably quick, fastest ball of the World Cup. He's just unbelievable. The movement he can get as well, shown when he got Finchy. And then finally, Kagiso Rabada. Again, he's just a fast bowler, but he's not expensive at the same time. I think his economy rate is about 6 or just under. So again, I really rate him.
Yeah, I really rate KG. Finn, don't we have a story about that World Cup semi-final morning when I think was it you or one of your brothers was having breakfast, and by the time he'd finished cooking it, they were 14 for 3.
Yeah. Oh.
It was good fun at your house.
Yeah, it was good
watching that game because it was quite crazy that start we had that morning. But Jofra Archer is fantastic, and Liam Plunkett, he is the wicket taker.
Yeah.
In the middle overs, maybe you forget about how you do need to take wickets and break partnerships.
Oh, of course, and because he bowls with good heat at just over 90, and I can't believe he didn't get offered a contract. I think he'll be last summer for ODI. I don't know why. Just he takes wickets. He got Williamson, Kohli. Yeah, I don't think he got Gale, but he just takes big important wickets. I can't remember the exact players, but
he got I think he got De Kock, Kohli, Williamson. He got Nichols on 55 in the final.
Dhoni.
We got Dhoni. Yeah, it was
definitely got.
You've got Rishabh Pant as well. He got 3 against India, but that was mainly Wokes' catch. Like that was a sensational catch, but that was Plunkett's bowling. He's just a wicket taker. He's just the guy that you want in your side in those middle overs.
Oh, he's really good.
And so for my three quicks,
your seamers, yeah.
My 3 quicks, I've got Wokes will bat at 8. Mitchell Starc will bat at 9, and Trent Boult will be my final batsman. I think you've got a lot to say about Mitchell Starc. How about we start with the other 2, and then you can talk about Mitchell Starc. Let's start with Trent Boult, the left arm seam option. He's Mr. Consistent, isn't he? He's fantastic.
Yeah. No, I really rate him. Didn't hold his nerve too well in the World Cup final, which is something you need. But yeah, he takes a lot of wickets. I think a left arm option is always really good, except if you're Mitchell Starc. I rate him so much. He got a hat trick in the World Cup as well.
He got a hat trick against Australia at Lords.
Yeah,
and I can't believe that first ball of England's innings was turned down. I think Erasmus chickened out of that.
Umpires chickening out of giving them. I hate that so much.
But yeah, that was a fantastic bit of bowling. Just swung in, wrapped him on the pad. He got Kohli out in similar fashion in the semi-final.
Yeah. He bowled really well in that semi-final.
Yeah, he's just Mr. Consistent, and he bowls quickly. He gets the ball to swing. If we're not talking about World Cup,
important,
and we talk about the ball that he bowled at the MCG. I know we mentioned it last time, but that was the ball of the Australian summer for me. So good. Chris Wokes, I wish you hadn't picked Jofra Archer, because I would have done, because that opening bowler partnership between Wokes and Archer is probably the best in the world. You look at the way that they work so well together. We talk about batting partnerships with Roy and Bairstow, but if you think about that bowling partnership between Wokes and Archer, they're taking wickets, they complement each other. Even in the game against
outswing, you got an outswinger and an inswinger.
Yeah, the class that he had when he got crunched by Warner first ball of the semi-final, to then just pull his length back and then eventually find the outside edge when he got him with a bumper.
And
then
got Hanscom later. Yeah. He's a really good bowler. Another one of those bowlers is just quite underrated for one reason or another. But I think he's a fantastic bowler.
Yeah, he didn't even have a great start to the World Cup either. He didn't wicket in the first game, but then he really grew into it. That game against India, where he got who opened for India with Sharma at that point? KL Rahul. Rahul. He got Rahul in the first over. And then he bowled a slower ball to Sharma, who tried to hit it from Birmingham to Coventry and sliced it to Joss Butler. And then in the semi-final, he had an average of 2.5, took 3 wickets. Sorry, an economy of 2.5, took 3 wickets.
Someone's done their research. You love work, don't you?
Yeah, average of 9 at Lords as well, and 3 for 34 in the final. Like, pretty good. Now, Finn, Mitchell Starc.
Yeah. Mitchell Starc, right? He can only get tail enders out. He can get tail enders or a weak Afghanistan opening pair out. But apart from that, his speed is for nothing. He just got he got carted around the park by Jason Roy, and that just shows he can't bowl to a good batsman. He could, his Yorkers probably one of the best in the world. That reverse swinging Yorker to Ben Stokes was unbelievable, but I just don't think. I don't think he's good enough to make any sort of World 11. Or I know he got most wickets to the World Cup, but he's just got a bunch of rubbish wickets. It's like he's left the other bowlers to take the big batsmen, and then just takes 3 of the tail because they can't play him because he's quick and he can swing it a touch. He doesn't swing it that much. Bolt is a good left-handed seamer because Bolt can bowl to all sorts of batsmen. Starc can just bowl to one sort of batsman.
Finn, in the England game, in the 2 England games in the semi-finals, Starc got out Root, Stokes, Bairstow, and Morgan.
Yeah, but Morgan, that's just a basic plan that everyone.
To be fair, every team employs.
Yes. Stokes, yes, an incredible ball. Did you say he got Vince?
No, Behrendorff got Vince. Bairstow
got Vince. Anyone could have got Vince. He's got Bairstow. Bairstow's probably, I can't remember it, probably trying to hit him for 6. Am I right?
Because he just missed a straight
that's
one.
what he deserved.
Bairstow and Root did the same thing. They both missed a straight, quick one. It's the extra pace, which is why I've put Mitchell Starc in my team.
He gets a tiny bit of in-swing as a left-hander. It's not enough. If you take someone who's getting proper in-swing, and that's Mitchell Johnson, he's the one we should be looking at. Or Bolt, he's getting proper in-swing. Stark's just not good enough. Lots of people are going to go, oh no, you're being rubbish, and they're going to come up with a bunch of examples. I just don't think he's good enough.
So I think maybe we should wrap it up there this week.
Yeah.
So hopefully you've enjoyed the second episode of the Final Leg to Final Leg podcast. We're going to be releasing another one on Sunday. We're going to be discussing our unpopular cricket opinions. So if anyone does have an opinion... I've
already discussed one here.
Yeah, Mitchell Starc is overrated. If anyone does have any more unpopular opinions, feel free to put them down and we can debate them on Sunday. But also comment down below whose team you think would win in a game, mine or Finn's.
And if you want to talk about Mitchell Starc, I'm more than happy to.
Okay, so thanks everyone for watching and we will see you on Sunday.